Hey there, welcome to my channel. This is the May 2022 market update. And if you're new to my channel, my name is Rich. I'm a local realtor for the Maryland and Delaware area. Appreciate you coming by. So I'm going to go over some stats and go over two questions that I'm getting a lot is, will the market crash? And, is it really a good time to buy still and or sell? So stay tuned with me towards the end of the video there. And for right now, let's get right into it. I always like to start with the interest rate. We'll take a look at that real quick. Move me out of the way here. So moving into June, right now we're sitting right at 5.09%. In May, it varied anywhere from 5.25. It did get up to about 5.3, and it actually has been declining here recently into June, which is not a bad thing. But it was expected for this year for the interest rate to rise. I believe they said about three interest points on there. In the beginning of the year we started about 3.25, so they're expecting it to get up to in that 6% range. Now keep in mind too, if you're doing something that's common here in this area is for a secondary home, a vacation home, or like a straight investment, depending on the type of loan that you get. This 30-year fixed interest rate, it could be a point and a half higher. So keep that in mind too. So moving on here, let's look at some stats here. I'm pulling up. This is from the local MLS for this specific area here in Maryland and Delaware. It's Worcester County and Sussex County, which is lower Delaware. And let's start with Delaware here, so we can check this out. So this is Sussex County, and this is May for May 2022. So the average sold price was to be $571,000. That's one things I always like to look at. Now I always like to look at here too. Average days on the market was about 22, so things were still moving along pretty well. And the average monthly inventory that you can see here is 2.1, so about 2 months. So what that means is this is a good indicator to look at to tell you what kind of market it is. It is a seller's market, so there's more buyers than there are sellers. Inventory is still slim, and I'm particularly seeing multiple offers on properties. More so in the Delaware area, though, it seems to be leveling off a little bit more. And this basically says, if no more listings came on the market in about 2 months, we would be totally out of listings, on there. So, and an average market, they say, or a balanced market is more towards the 6 month of inventory. So that's kind of like your tipping point, going from a seller's market to a buyer's market, or something that's more balanced, on there. But down here, you also see here, in May 2022, the amount of inventory was 1,217 homes listed. The previous year, of course it says June because I printed it in June, around the same thing. We had about 1,100 listings. So we definitely had more inventory on the market, which is a good thing because, again, it starts cooling things down a little bit, which I think we definitely need. And on the Maryland side here, average sold listing 391,000. Average days on the market's a little bit more than Delaware says, which I thought that was interesting, 27 days. But look at our monthly inventory, about 1.4, about 1.5 months, which is even less than Delaware. So that kind of goes to show the inventory is even more tight here on the Maryland side. And like I said, that's where I've noticed a little bit more of the action, especially the last couple buyers that I've helped purchase. One was in North Ocean City, and one was just a little West Ocean City over in Ocean Pines, which I'll tell you a little bit more about that. So move on here, continue with a little stats here. I like to show this. This is Showing Time. This is a software that agents use for our listings. You just go ahead and you book through here to actually show a property. I like to look at this because this kind of can show you the activity of showings and buyers getting out there to look at. And we are, of course, Maryland, Delaware, we're considered a South region on here. So this is kind of showing the index that they come up with. And it shows this year, May hasn't come out yet, but let's look at April, it is down. So showings with buyers are down about 11.5%. versus the previous month and really quarter of the first of the year. In March, it was up. February up 19.5%, January up 11.5% there. So most likely probably in May, when this comes out, this is probably going to be less, but it'll be interesting to actually see that stat there, to see exactly what that shows. The other thing I like to look at is another software called AirDNA, which a lot of property managers will use this, and also investors and owners of properties that do short-term rentals, which again, it's probably 95% of the clients that I help out in this area is vacation homes and short-term rentals. But you could check the software out. It's a good source, actually, the resource if you're looking to invest in. They really pull information from Airbnb, VRBO, and plus the local MLS that property managers use, and individual hosts too. And of course, this is the data that they allow you to see. They can give it any area. They'll show you like a report card grade here, but it kind of shows you what the active listings are, in real-time demand, average daily rates, occupancy rates, revenue, seasonality, and booking lead time, which is all good information to know. But what I like to look at on here is to see the demand in rentals. Again, because this kind of reflect if you are doing rentals, which a lot of people are in this area, kind of show you, is it worth it to pay at a higher price? Of course, there's more numbers that you want to look at to see what your return on investment is, but just to say, short-term rentals are up in the first quarter of 2022 by 51%, this year versus 2021, which that's a good indicator there. A lot of the clients that I've helped, they are showing strong rental numbers on their properties, which again, is a good thing. So will the market crash? That is the big question. And no, I don't think it will crash. It will definitely slow down and pull back, as the interest rates are rising. Showings are slowing down as we saw. So that's the affordability of making a purchase is lessened. And and actually pushes some buyers out of the market. So I think prices will definitely come down and adjust. And the big word is to normalize, where I think more well balanced. Usually in this area, properties appreciate like 2 to 3%. Not the 15 to 40% that we've seen in the last couple of years, which has just been pretty crazy. And I think it'll get down to back to that 2 to 3%, or maybe even level off or become stagnant for a little while too. And but prices will definitely recede from what they are now. What I found is those properties where sellers are getting real aggressive with their pricing and overpricing, and the unit is still outdated, it needs work, and so on. Those properties are starting to sit on the market, and you're going to see price reductions, and we have been seeing price reductions on those. But those that are still being priced right, right where market value is showing, so pricing is still up, it seems. But those that are priced right and are in that turnkey condition that look good, those are the ones that are selling quickly and still with multiple bids. So the big question, should I buy or sell right now? Which is an excellent question. So the good news about buying is the information that we just talked about. More inventory is starting to come on the market. So it means that you're going to have more choices, and it's going to start opening things up, making things a little bit more balanced. And sellers are going to be more flexible with their pricing. So that's good news. And with the interest rates at 5% now, maybe up in that 6% range, it's still not horrible. Given historical data, back, let's say like back in the 90s and 80s when interest rates were 10% on up to, I think 1981 was 18.5%, which was crazy. It really comes down to you, and if you're in a position to buy, I think we could go out there and actually and start negotiating a little bit more, and of course more as the time moves on here in the next couple of months, as the market is shifting. I helped clients, they purchased a condo in North Ocean City, And this particular one, which I thought was interesting, was we got it $15,000 below listing price. And some comps in that building were selling around $285. One was like up in the $295 and $300 range. List price on this was $299. We got it for $285. Pictures on that was not really that good, so I think it worked out in our benefit. And also, almost the client that I was working with, we almost didn't go see it because it didn't really catch their eye. But I'm glad we did, because it was actually a pretty nice unit, and you know, there was a few buyers and agents tiptoeing around it, saying that they were going to submit an offer, but they had nothing on the table. We submitted one, put a 24-hour deadline on it to get an answer, and we put it at $285, and that's what we got. And with sellers, you know, again, right now it's a good time to sell. You know, especially on the Maryland side. Like I said, I'm still seeing multiple offers, especially in town, like in Ocean City, and waterfront is, of course, in high demand. The Delaware side is starting to build up a little bit more inventory, but you know, as time goes on, you know, I think you know, buyers are going to have more choices. So what that means is, you know, you're going to have maybe less offers on the property, and you might have to be a little bit more flexible on the price. And you want to make sure that you price right, you know, so you're not outpricing yourself in the market. And again, you don't want to leave any money on the table, but the pricing is key to get that right on the market. Of course, the market creates the demand or determines the price of the property, really. And you got to make sure that you're paying attention to that and doing any price adjustments or pricing it right off the bat. I hope that helps. And if you gotten value from the video and it did help you out, you know, make sure that you subscribe and hit that bell notification, as I'm going to be dropping new content and you don't miss it. My contact information is going to be down below too. If you need any help in the Maryland, Delaware Beach area, make sure you reach out to me. So glad you were here, and look forward to the next one, and I'll see you soon.